One of the best dunks of the year, or one of the best sneakers in general of 2023, belongs to an Olympic champion who's only 24 years old, and it pays homage to Tokyo, Japan. I've never been to Tokyo, Japan, but just from images, videos, what everyone says, you can just tell it's awesome. Yuto Horigome Nike SB Dunk Low. Yuto Horigome is a professional skateboarder. Like I mentioned in the intro, he is an Olympic champion. He won the gold medal in the 2021 Tokyo Olympics. Was supposed to be 2020, but obviously we know what happened in 2020. Got delayed to 2021, and he won the gold medal. Now, I don't know anything about skateboarding. That whole world is completely foreign to me. So in terms of like Yuto's abilities on the skateboard, I don't really know much about it, but he's an Olympic champion, so I'm assuming he's one of the best. And this shoe is his collaboration with Nike. It is inspired and pays homage to, I gotta actually read the name because I can't remember it, Ojima Komotsugawa Park in Tokyo, Japan. So that is where he grew up skateboarding, and you'll see hints and references to Tokyo, Japan on the shoe. I am a sucker for storytelling on shoes, so this one definitely caught my attention. And the shoe officially dropped on August 25th at select retailers. The official release date on sneakers was August 29th. I wasn't able to get this shoe for a while. Finally got it. I'm just gonna do a review on it, even though I'm months late. I don't care. I'll review what I like. And I really like this shoe. It looks beautiful. There's been some crazy SB Dunk collaborations this year. One that I still want is the Run the Jewels dunks, but the Born and Raised dunks, the Doritos dunks, as well as this one. Out of them, I think the Doritos, I don't know why, I just have a special soft spot for that shoe. I think that is still the best, but can't go wrong with any. Just look at this. You cannot go wrong. That's like trying to date between like Gal Gadot and like Halle Berry. You can just take your pick. Can't go wrong. And this shoe comes with a white leather base layer. The leather, pretty average. Nothing too special, nothing premium. And the base layer, it's actually kind of like off-white, so not like a purely white that you might find on like a white on white, triple white Air Force One. So keep that in mind. The swoosh is also leather, and it comes with gray suede overlays. I will say, very nice suede. It feels great. I keep touching this gray suede on the overlays. Honestly, it kind of feels like nubuck, but I went on Nike Skateboarding's website. It does state that it is suede, so I always go with the official wording if they do provide the materials of a shoe, so their expertise better than mine. I'll go with suede. But overall, it just feels really nice. And then on the ankle collar as well as the heel, also suede. However, this brown suede is slightly more hairy, slightly rougher than like the gray overlays. And then the pink Nike heel tab, also suede. But overall, the materials on this Nike SB Dunk, it is nice. I don't think it's as nice as the Born and Raised dunks that I just reviewed very recently. However, still impressive. Moving on to the tongue, you'll see pretty standard Nike SB branding on the tag on the tongue, but right underneath it, you'll see Yuto Horigome's name. And then on the inside of the tongue, you'll see this double feather logo that you'll also find on the heel counter of the shoe. And that is actually designed by Japanese artist Verdi. I think that's a pretty cool look. I think that's a cool logo. Nice and simple, nice and clean. Just like other SB Dunks, you'll see thicker and fatter laces. I'm not trying to lace shame, but it is thicker and fatter laces than a non-SB Dunk. The tongue also is more padded on the SB Dunk compared to a non-SB Dunk. And the insole of the shoe, it is branded. I do have to point out the inspiration behind the branding. So again, you'll see the double feathered logo, but you'll see this kind of dotted aesthetic. And that is actually meant to represent the cherry blossoms in Japan. Japan's obviously very known. It's a huge tourist attraction when it's cherry blossom season. So the insole of the shoe, that dotted aesthetic isn't just for show. It does take inspiration from the cherry blossoms. And this shoe comes with a rubber cup sole with a Zoom Air unit on the heel. So that's one big difference between an SB Dunk and a non-SB Dunk. The SBs come with a Zoom Air unit. And like other SB Dunks, this shoe comes with a rubber outsole, this time in that same brown color that you'll find on the ankle collar of the shoe. And one thing to point out on SB Dunks, the traction is slightly different than non-SB Dunks. So you'll see more circles, and that is to provide more traction, more grip for skateboarders. And then this pink Nike SB cutout right in the middle. Love how these colors work together. And this shoe does come with two extra set of laces, one in that brown color, one in that pink color. I do really like how all three of these laces look on this shoe. I think the pink actually gives this shoe a different pop, different dimension. Yeah, makes this shoe kind of stand out a bit more. The colors that come with this shoe are pretty standard, But this pink, especially when you think of cherry blossoms in Japan, it fits right in. I think the pink laces, the pink extra laces, I think that's the best out of the lot. But honestly, any one of these three works super well. And the box of the shoe, a standard Nike SB box. Nothing too special. Now moving on to size and comfort, I'm a size 9.5 true to size. I have wide feet, I am one of those people, and for Nike SB Dunks, I stick true to size. I think it fits pretty well. Nike SB Dunks are slightly more padded than a non-SB Dunk, but for sizing purposes, I stick true to size for SB Dunks. So if you have wide feet, or if you don't have wide feet, I do recommend just sticking true to size. Now because of that extra padding on SB Dunks, I do feel like they are slightly more comfortable, but in a vacuum, it is still a Nike Dunk. It is not the most comfortable shoe compared to some other shoes, especially modern day shoes, but generally if I wore it for a day, I think it's pretty good. There is a Zoom Air unit on the Nike SB Dunks, so that makes a difference. So overall, definitely not the most comfortable shoe in the world, but still pretty comfortable. Now that brings the total sole score to 22 out of 25, a very high score compared to other collaborations, and just one score lower than the Born and Raised Nike SB Dunks. That mainly is due to its materials, but first of all, the colorway on the shoe, again, just like the Born and Raised SB Dunks, I think it's perfect. There's something about this color combination, this kind of earthy, kind of muted look. It just really, it fits right up my alley. It really plays into the aesthetic that I prefer. I love how this shoe looks. Just beautiful. Now in terms of materials, I think the overlays are really, really nice. The suede feels nice. The ankle collar suede, slightly hairier and slightly more rougher than I'd like it to be. But the gray overlays feels great. The leather, however, on the base layer, I don't think it's the best leather. It feels kind of average. Same with the swoosh, so I can't give it a perfect 5 out of 5. But overall, especially for a retail price of $130, I know most people aren't paying $130 for the shoe. It's very hard to get, but for all intents and purposes, a retail price of $130, the materials on the shoe, they are nice. Now in terms of comfort, like I mentioned before, an SB Dunk, better than a Nike Dunk, but don't think it's the best. The padding is nice, it's comfortable, the cushioning is decent, but compared to like the Jordan 5s or like the Jordan 13s, I think it's still slightly below that. So in terms of comfort, it's nice, but not the best. Versatility wise, the SB Dunks, very, very versatile silhouette. It's very easy to wear. And in terms of the colorway, it's not super loud. It's still different, but it's a very muted, kind of earthy look. I think the brown gives it a perfect vibe for the fall. So I think it's a very versatile colorway, very easy to wear. Can't really go wrong with this shoe, with this colorway. Very, very easy to wear. Love it. Now in terms of storytelling, I think it's got good storytelling, especially when you do your research. Like the insoles of the shoe, some people might think that dotted pattern is just a design choice, but when you look into the shoe, it is inspired by cherry blossoms, and that's just awesome. And of course the branded tongues, the branded heel counter, the overall colors that's chosen, that is inspired by his hometown of Tokyo, Japan. Doesn't quite have as much detail as the Born and Raised Dunks, but overall, they still did a very, very good job. Executed very well. This is one of those shoes where if you knew nothing about the backstory, if you didn't even know who the collaborator was, you just look at it and you're like, what a beautiful shoe. He just absolutely nailed it. This is such a beautiful shoe. I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Glad I finally have it in my rotation. No complaints. So that's it. Thanks for watching Sole Inclined. Let me know what you think of the Yuto Horigami Nike SB Dunk Low. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes.